Doing the differences between fine quality oil pastels versus professional and artist quality. So there's a few brands here, but let's just show two of them. So we got artist quality, right? Sennelier is the de facto industry standard brand of a high quality artist brand of oil pastels. And and with that, I've got three Senneliers. And right here, we're going to differentiate and call these fine quality because that's how these companies want to brand. Cray-Pas is one of the brands, and they call it extra fine quality. So, we're going to go with these. I don't really like to call things grade, like student grade or artist grade. So we're just going to go by, how the company represents themselves, and we're just going to talk about all these different ones. And you know what? Every single brand has their benefits, right? Every single brand has their reasons for use. You don't necessarily need to buy a 2-year old or 3-year old the highest grade of oil pastels unless they're like a super genius or something. So let's start with this. Let's just take a random one, and we're gonna start writing up here. We're gonna go fine quality, fine, and we're gonna go all the way to artist, professional artist. So pro artist. So there we go. So first off, we're going to do these 3 color sections right here. So we're going to do 3 color sections, and we're going to go right here. It's really hard to tell the difference right now as we just draw these squares. But as you start to work them on top of each other, you can really start to see differences. So in a few moments, you're going to start noticing some of these differences. Let's go ahead and lay down another color here. As you can tell, these were some of my first pastels that I'm working with, the Royal Talens Van Gogh brand, and they have broken a bit. And, I guess every pastel will probably break at some point if you drop it enough times. But I wanted to keep the colors pretty similar. And let's see. So you can see these colors. We're not so much judging by the color richness as much as it is I want to describe the texture. And what you can instantly tell once you start is that the textures on these oil pastels, so the fine quality oil pastels, are a bit harder. That's something that you instantly notice. So you can see that you might not be able to tell necessarily on video, but you can really feel, once you get it in your hand, you can start to feel that these fine quality pastels are definitely a bit rougher. They're a bit harder. You have to push a bit harder to get this full color. Like right now, I'm just kind of scraping a little bit. I'm being gentle. And you can see that I have to push somewhat hard in order to get the fullness of color, the richness of color here. But you'll see it's a little bit different with the professional and artist quality pastels that I'm about to show you. So right here, you can see that I can just push a little bit. I'm being gentle right now, and you can see there's a lot of color coming off. So yeah, just differences in pigment. To be honest with you, Blossom Warrior, I do want to say that my artistic eye is not that finely tuned to the richness of pigment and color. I mean, I could definitely notice, that there's differences in hue and a little bit of variation in the overall value, but I'm not so tuned into the actual richness of the pigment. So, there is that, and it's good that you are. So like if you like, do this for many, many years, I'm sure you could become more fine-tuned. But the biggest thing for me to notice right off the top of my hand is the softness or the hardness of these. So that's like the first thing to notice. And then, as you start to get more into this, see, as you can see, I'm pressing pretty lightly, and a lot of the oil pastel is coming off. So you're getting really dark, deep, and like textured oil pastels to come off here. So that's one thing. If you're a very like tactile person like I am, you'll notice real quickly that they have totally different textures, and you feel things that they feel totally different. So this one, just real gentle. Now, I do want to say, I don't really want to focus too much on the color. These are the only Sennelier ones that I have, the iridescence brand. So I try to find the best colors to match this. And they do happen to have these very unique metallic colors that are absolutely beautiful. But you may or may not be able to tell, but the color tends to come right off. And this is more noticeable when this is much more big meow. Okay, sure. This is much more noticeable with hello Alexander, welcome. Happy it's not Catterday yet, but happy almost Catterday, right? So as you could tell with these pastels, they are this actually has some very unique colors, these metal. This is a very specific a brand of Sennelier or line of Sennelier. So, if you want richness of color and things like this, like to create these metallic effects, you definitely have to buy a specific set, which you're going to be spending a bit more. But I think this is probably a good representation of the brand of Sennelier, which is fantastic. So you get these really metallic colors, and as you could see, very, very high quality. I mean, industry standard Sennelier. Paul Rubens is the third one right here. These are good. You can see that it's much like a thicker, creamier effect, whereas Sennelier, of course, is a very specific color, and they come off pretty well, very soft, and these are much harder. So let's go ahead and dive into this a bit more. So, hey, I'm glad that I'm 1 out of 57 people, Alexander. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know, and thank you for promoting of movement of cat happiness. That's very kind of you. All right, so let's continue on. So we've got these laid down, and what I want to share with you is piece by piece how these colors tend to lay on top of each other. So I haven't exactly done the math, but something will come out of this. So let's start with the blue, right? So we're going to start with this on top of this right here. The blue on top of the red. I don't know if that's going to be the best color. Let's do the yellows on top of reds. This yellow on top of this red, and we'll see what happens, right? So we're just going to assume that the majority within each brand, the colors they're made pretty much the same, although the pigments are going to be different. But let's just start with this, right? So let's see if I could do it in a way that you could see it on camera. So as you can see, it's not really coming off. Maybe it kind of like scrapes away the color there. Maybe we try a blue and we could get a better effect. So you can see a lot of the color pretty much is scraped off on top, which, if you're just doing large areas of color, then these might be great. But if you're trying to do some layering effects, it might not be as good. So the blue comes off a little better, doesn't scrape off as much. Maybe this just happens to be a softer pigment. I don't know exactly. But let's do the blue for the rest, just to get that effect. So on the second one, this went on top of the second one pretty well. Now with this more professional quality oil pastel, it is a softer, thicker one. This pastel, fine quality, the Royal Talens brand, definitely seems to be scraping it off. They don't work well together, right? So you probably want brands that are going to go well together. And on top of that, let's go on top of this one. Also the same thing with the other professional quality pastel. It does this scraping thing that you don't necessarily want when you're trying to do stuff on top of each other. So let's go on to our next one, Cray-Pas. So let's do red on orange. The yellow didn't, or I mean red on yellow. So the yellow didn't show up on a red. So I don't know if this is going to be the same thing, but let's try this, right? Oh wait, that's Cray-Pas. So let's go with this red on this red, right? We're in this second group. Oh man, I probably should have planned this better. So we are on this second group right now. Okay, we're on the second group right now. So anyway, let's do blue here, or red. Let's do red. All right. So anyway, as you can see right here, that goes pretty well, but you'll be able to start to see some more of the differences in a bit. You can see this one goes okay, but it does do a little bit of scraping. And let's go here. Definitely the hardness of these fine quality oil pastels do not work well with the fine and the professional artist, or I mean the professional artist quality pastels, right? Because they're so hard that you're just going to be scraping. So depending on what kind of effects you want, this may or may not be a good thing. Now let's go with a yellow on blue. We don't have yellow on blue yet. All right, so let's go with this yellow on blue. This is an Paul Rubens. This is a Chinese brand, and they say that they produce Chinese colors. I am now officially CAT certified. Hey, thank you. All right. So anyway, this is a yellow, and this is a Chinese brand. Now, here's the thing. I initially was kind of hesitant because I wasn't sure if oil pastels from China would necessarily be safe compared to, I guess these are probably all made in China. These are made in, does it even say? Oh, these are made in Vietnam, and these are made in China. So, I wasn't sure about the quality of a random Chinese brand. I know Paul Rubens has been a long time, been around for a long time, but Sennelier, highly trusted brand, made in, where does it say? Where does it say where it's made? Made in France. So, a traditional French brand made in France, you can automatically probably trust when it comes to art materials. Probably extra expensive, but I found the Paul Rubens ones to have some great colors, great value, and some great textures. So very soft. Let's see. So you can see right now it doesn't really work well on top of the fine quality brands, but you can see, there's a little bit of coloring that works, right? But still, there's a little bit of a roughness. They don't work perfectly together. So let's see this other one. Scrape off some of this blue that's gone on here. Just focus on the yellow. So these two tend to work well together, right? This is the original Cray-Pas, and we've got yellow on top of yellow. So as you can tell, the two ones that work together, the two brands that are the same, tend to work well, and as you might expect. And this one ends up scraping away the Sennelier. So with these different examples, you can tell what specifically they do with each other. All these different interactions eventually add up on top of a painting. So since we did blue here, let's just do blue Sennelier, this metallic blue, on top of this other blue. So I drew the word artist off the page, but that's okay. Pro RT. So let's go like this. Blue on yellow. Hey, blue on red, still pretty nice, right? Got a nice metallic blue on top of the red. And let's see how this works with our Cray-Pas. So Cray-Pas works pretty well. Wow, so the nice and soft Sennelier seems to be working pretty well with all the other ones. Yep, this goes right on top of the Paul Rubens brand pretty well as well. And of course, blends well. It seems to blend a little better with our Sennelier. So let's keep this as this, and this is a brief review of some of these colors. So let's see what we did. So we got the blue here. Let's try a different color. Let's continue on with this. So we started off with this blue. Let's do this red on top of the blue here. And let's just see what we get, just to try a few more different things. So we've got some red on here. Doesn't really work well together, right? The richness of color gets lost. Let's see with the red right here. Pretty much, but it could just be because these two colors can clash when you use this type of material. So anyway, this scrapes away. It's a bit too hard to be on top of the Sennelier, but Sennelier goes well on top of other ones. Let's see how this goes on top of here. Red and yellow. See, mixes well on top of the yellow. But when it's on the softer, creamier brands, the artist quality brands, it tends to just scrape away. So I don't know the science about that. Hardness, softness, that's that. And let's see. So let's try one of these blues. The second one I did red. So we're going to go with this blue, and we're going to go with this blue on yellow. Let's see how that goes. All right, does pretty well. You can definitely see a little bit of mixing some green there. Definitely goes well with this other one, but what is a little bit of annoying sometimes when you're working with these is you get these like little chunks of oil pastel that kind of like get chunky and thick, which doesn't always look so nice depending on how you're working it. So here we go. You create these effects. And let's go on this one. So it's totally almost just scrapes away. Almost no point in mixing these the fine quality brands with the higher quality brands. So let's see this one. 1, 2, 3. I did yellow. So let's do, ooh, I'm running out of space here. Let's do this blue with all the other ones here. Let's do blue on top of this yellow and red. So here we go. Hey, nice and soft, comes off nice and easy on top of the other brands. There we go. Nice. Goes right on top. Hey, when it's soft and creamy and goes perfectly on top. So, biggest thing that we can probably take away right now is this idea that you can definitely put artist quality, professional artist quality oil pastels, and you can layer on top of fine quality oil pastels. But if you do the opposite, you're gonna get these like scratchy effects. So you really have to decide how you want to work. But I definitely see the value in these, right? Like if you want to create large spaces, cover large areas of space real quickly, then you can really start to work these colors. And with something more expensive like this, like one very unique color, you probably only want to use it for the specific times that they're going to be needed, right? Because these are such unique colors. I mean, they're probably only going to come in handy in a handful of situations. So, let's go ahead and put this into an actual situation here. Now, I have all sorts of colors surrounding me right now, which you can't necessarily see because of the way my setup is. So I've got, the Van Gogh colors. So let's go ahead and put these away, and we're actually going to just start drawing, coloring, painting. Let me put the Sennelier away. I'm going to put these Cray-Pas away, and we're going to come back. So we're actually going to do a real situation here, because, these are just examples, but what happens when you're actually doing an actual sketch or painting or something? An oil pastel painting. What do you do? Is it going to work the same? Sometimes they don't, because all the different colors tend to have different pigments and things like that, so it may or may not come out right. So here we go. Let's do this. Let's keep it going, and I'm going to have a different oil pastels on the side here. Let's go with a color on the table. Limited space here, so let's figure this out. I got another piece on the side. I don't want to leave this as the main event, so I'm going to put this to the side. And let's just get started. Let's see. What do we want to do here? Let's just do let's start with a flower with the Cray-Pas and see how this goes, right? So we're gonna start with a flower design here. Just go in a nice expressive red circle, or whatever you call this, an octagon, a shape. I don't know my shapes yet I do art. It's okay. So let's go like this. And one thing about oil pastels is you always want to layer in colors. So let's go with something like dark in the edges here, something a little bit darker. Let's go, where can I get like a dark? Here we go. And we're just gonna start filling this in, and imagine the light areas. I'm going to start filling the space, and let's go with a dark blue in the center. So dark blue in the center. And I think this is a really good time, as Blossom Warrior had said earlier, that some of the pigment is definitely much richer. As you can see, this is harder. So a lot of the pigment there's still a lot of white space that you could see in between. It's not as vibrant. But with oil pastels, here's the thing, is the beauty of oil pastels really comes when you can start to mix different colors and blend them together to create these different effects. So the beauty of oil pastels isn't going to come from just how rich the pigment is. you gotta use the materials to the best of your ability, but it comes a lot from being able to take different colors and just quickly mix them together in a variety of ways. So, we're just playing with the same oil pastels as they work with each other, and I think as long as you keep them pretty similar, you can create some nice effects here. So, it's blending some red here and yellow, and let's transform this into another red here. So add a different shade of red. And let's use the same brand of Cray-Pas. This is a Cray-Pas brand, and we're just going to throw some white around the edges here. So as you can see, the white comes around edges. Who doesn't like to do flowers, right? And in the middle, let's throw some even, I don't know if this is the same blue, but it looks darker, right? So, and then we'll throw some black in the center. Let's go with some black just to create this dimension. Just to create this dimension. So that's one quick flower done with our Cray-Pas brand. And maybe we throw in a little bit of a green just to give it a stem, and mix some colors here. There you go. So add some darker green around the other side here. And let's go with, of course, you always need a leaf, right? So stem with a leaf is always going to make a flower look happy, right? Hello, waving, a waving flower. We're going to add a few different colors of green to this. Let's do, or should I say values of green. So let's go like this, like so. And, now it becomes a little harder to add these much darker colors, because what you find is that, with these harder brands, they're just going to scrape away, honestly. So you really got to plan out your colors much more, in the sense of, if I plan to have yellow here, or if I plan to have yellow here, I don't want to think, oh, I'm going to have a chance to mix yellow into it. I got to think I should just add the yellow first if I want it to look yellow, and then color over it. Like right here. Let's say I plan to have the yellow to the left here. I don't want to paint it later on top of the green. I want to add it in right now. And this is just going to create, this little lighting effect. So, that's just the Cray-Pas version. Let's see. Let's do another set here. Let's do another set of flowers, shall we? Adding in some yellow. See, the yellow, you're not really going to get it to show. Let's try to maybe add a metallic color to this. So we're going to take our yellow Cray-Pas. What is this? What color is this? It's like a gold. They're all gold something. This is gold pearl. This is rose gold, I think. No, that's copper. Copper. This is red gold. They got what's this other gold? So many gold colors in this brand. And this is a pale gold. So they got like 10 types of gold. So let's throw some gold on top. And what you're about to find and notice is that you can actually layer these softer colors on top of these much less soft brands. So let's just give it a little bit of a design here, just to add this like texture of flower. Add texture to these flowers. Maybe give it a little red pop along these edges here. Pop out these reds with some of our metallic color. Like these Sennelier colors are just so amazing. They really do a great job of just making things pop, because they shine and they're great. So here we go. I like this green effect that we have going on here. So let's just leave this. Actually, this leaf looks way too thick. There's never a leaf that kind of just sticks out. So here's what we'll do. Let's take, if we know we got to scrape something away, can I paint with pink? Yeah, I can definitely paint with pink. There's a lot of requests, Alexander. Do you make these requests when you go to music festivals and you go up to the DJ and say, "Hey, can you say meow or whatever?" Happy to do stuff and requests, but I like to know where this is coming from. So let's see. And I have taken some followers who watch my videos a lot. I put their names actually into the painting sometimes, hidden away, so future viewers can discover it. But anyway, let's go here and let's go. Let's see. So as you can see, you're not really going to get much putting a hard, fine quality pastel on top of the artist quality pastels. But here's what we can do: is we can go around this and actually start to draw in around it. So let's take a blue. And one thing that I mentioned earlier, these are great at helping to create a texture around things. So, what I can do is I can start to carve away at this leaf simply because it's this blue color, and we can create like a surrounding color to create some nice and interesting dark effects. So just create nice effects here. And as you can see, I can carve away at this leaf and give it that more leafy feel, that more natural leaf feel, as opposed to just this random thing sticking out, a broad leaf just sticking out of the material. So let's go like this. This is mostly done with the Cray-Pas brand right here. And that's one of the hard things about working with oil pastels that you want to be careful with, is when you're going into the space, you can really start to take all the colors and they kind of just like come together. So here we go. But what is beautiful about oil pastels is you create these like nice thick expressive pieces that have a lot of texture to them. So there's the Cray-Pas version. You love cats too much, and pink is your most favorite color. Cool. That is great. At some point I will use pink. Gotta stay tuned though. Stay tuned for the use of pink. All right, and then here we go. So this is the Cray-Pas version. Let's make a flower with our let's do the Van Gogh version. Let's make a Van Gogh. Let's see. So what can we do? We can do a blue flower. We're going to go with a blue flower. And let's go with a dark blue. So we're going to go like so. Just going to start sketching out something like a tulip, I guess. And let's create this texture of a leaf that comes down the center here. And just sketching out the basic shape here. We're going to get the leaf as it comes around, and then here's a whole other leaf. I don't even know what this flower is called. I think it's a tulip, but some form of flower. And then we're going to create another shape right here to create this flower, and then one more leaf is going to come around right there. So now that we've got these separate entities, separate parts of a flower, let's go ahead in. And the other thing about certain collections is these flowers, or I mean these colors, are pretty limited. I'm sure they have way more colors, but for now, as we're working with this, you could see that just having a set of 12 isn't really gonna help you capture the richness of artwork. So here we go. We've got a nice blue here, a nice rich thick blue. Let's use another blue. We need to actually, you know what? I can take this blue, and then we can start to separate this by adding the darkness. Adding a darker shade, let's say in the back here, create different shades of blue, and then we're going to help separate them. So let's separate this. And this isn't really getting the effect I want, so let's throw in some white, shall we? Let's add some white to lighten up our area right here. And then a little bit more white across the top here. And let it kind of just like fade away. A little bit of white across this top. And then a little bit of white across there. And we'll even darken it. Let's add some black. Oh my goodness, black. A lot of people don't like using black because they say it's not natural. But you know what? I'm going to do it anyway. So here we go. Let's see, create a little bit of a shadow there. And we'll go right into here. We'll blend the black a little bit with our blue. We just want to darken it. And here we go. So another little flower. Now let's see what happens if we try to put other colors on top of this. So we're going to take our Cray-Pas. Let's go with a, let's see, what color would we want to mix with the blue? If you're here, Alexander, you're about to see some pink. So let's throw some pink on here. And let's push the pink into this blue and get this, just get a little bit. See, as you could tell, these other brands that are working on top, they tend to just like scrape off. So you got to be careful with which brands you use. That's the pink, but let's go ahead and just keep pushing with the pink a bit. You know what we might do? Let's just do a hot pink around this blue. Why not? So we're going to go, actually, before we do that, let's take this green and draw a stem. So I've got three different colors of green. I'm going to start with, two different colors of green, two different shades of green. And I'm actually going to start with a yellow this time for our stem here. Let's start with the yellow, and here we go. So let's go with the yellow. And one thing that you'll tell is that you could carve green. You can carve the a similar brand on top of a similar brand, but it becomes much harder if you're trying to do a separate brand, like a softer brand on top of another brand. So let's go, having a hard time getting this out. So let's go here. So this is a red on top of a light green, and we'll go here. Just darken this a little bit. Give it some more dimension, and let's do something cute, right? Let's have these holding leaves, right? Let's do that. Let's make it cute. How adorable is that? They're giving me a high five. Alexander, let's consider this a high five to each other. Not holding hands, just a high five. There we go. High five. And here we go. We're gonna do pink in a moment, don't you worry. But overall, just adding different bits of definition. Let's darken this with the blue. Let's throw some blue here on the bottom. A little bit of a darken this blue here. And there we go, a couple of pretty flowers. So from here, here's the one thing about pink though. So we're gonna use the Van Gogh brand. And as I mentioned, one great thing about the fine quality brands, that if you're gonna use the fine quality brands, is that they're really good at just creating these, like, you use it for like covering large areas of space or surrounding different colors, because you can really push and carve and move your way into things. But the one thing that I usually try to be careful with pink is trying not to get Pepto-Bismol pink. I'm not a big fan of Pepto-Bismol pink. But as you can see here, the pink does a great job of, or the Van Gogh pink does a great job of just carving its path through this image. Carving its own path. So there are benefits, right, to every quality of materials. And I guess calling it artist grade versus student grade is like kind of a pointless idea, because you know what, they all have their purpose in some way. So I like to call them fine quality versus professional artist quality. And I guess that's almost saying the same thing, but saying it in a different way. So, anyway, let's continue here. We're just going to carve our way around this life here. We've got these two flowers just coming together like friends, like pals, right? I feel like I'm talking on a kids show right now. So anyway, high five with a cat paw. And let's do another drawing here. So we're going to do another flower, but this one's going to be a little different because I'm going to have to use these metallic colors to figure this out. I don't know exactly how this is going to go because if you look at all these metallic colors, they're pretty much like different shades of the same thing. Like these three are pretty much almost like, you know, if you're a really technical artist, you could tell the differences between these colors, but they almost look the same, right? Like this one's maybe a little bit darker with some red of this one. This one's maybe a little bit browner. These two are almost the same, maybe different shades. So, you know, I got to work with these colors. So maybe we'll create a metallic flower. Let's do that. Let's go with a metallic flower. What's a good metallic flower to do? Let's go like this. So we're gonna go here. We're gonna be a little bit. Gonna create the shape first. Create the overall shape first. The shape of everything that we want. And we're gonna go like so. This one is gonna be a very broad leaf. And, oh, see, this is what happens when you don't plan, is you end up drawing into an area that where something isn't supposed to be. So, anyway, that's okay. I'm fine with that. Now, let's do this. Do we really want to color in totally with that? No, we don't. So we're going to go in and use a different shade for a different area. And this is the one metallic flower that stands. Actually, let's use some of this on top of our hard pastels. So let's go like this. I really want to give this like metallic situation that we've got. So this pastels does a really good job of that. And let's throw on this metallic blue. It's called a transparent blue. But, you know, I think this is more than transparent blue. This is like a metal. If only they had like cooler names, like steel metal blue. But that's one good thing about these is if you want to layer colors on top of your fine quality pastels, you can. So you get the opportunity to like layer and do things like that. So here we go. Let's go around here. Let's throw some of this blue into here too. Picture reminds you of Jing and Jan, like white and black round symbol, because the red and blue are in each other. Yeah, okay, that's cool. Red and blue, yin and yang. These two opposing, red, blue, blue, red. I see what you're saying. That's cool. Yeah, totally. You know, the great thing about art is, so I sold a piece a little while ago, and the person who bought it asked me, oh, so, you know, what's this piece about? Tell us. And it was an abstract piece. And I was about to start explaining what was on my mind when I did it. But fortunately, the husband interrupted me. You know, they apologized. They're like, oh, you know, sorry to interrupt, but I just want to share, like, you know, before you share your thoughts, I'd like to share some of mine. And I was like, I was so glad he did. So he started telling me like, oh, well, you know, this is what I think this piece means. And after he finished speaking, I was pretty much like, oh, that's great. If that's how you interpret it, that is wonderful because that's what's important. And I didn't even get a chance to explain what I thought, but it didn't really matter what I thought, to be honest, because at the end of the day, what something means to the person who buys it is the most important thing. So, I'm having a hard time working with these colors because it's like metallic, and this, the color just doesn't really work well with these. But whatever, we'll make it happen. We'll turn something out of this, something out of nothing, right? So let's go with this blue, and let's see as we mix these colors here. So Sennelier on top of Sennelier, and we're gonna have to use colors to change the values of these things as opposed to using values to change the overall design here. So Sennelier, I mean, I'm sure Sennelier has a lot more colors. They do. I know 100,000% fact. I'm willing to bet money on the fact that Sennelier has more colors than, this 12 pack. Let's see, 3, 6, 9, 12, this 12 pack. I'll bet money on it. But I haven't gotten their other set because I just wanted to experiment and just see like what all these colors are about. And we could make this a bit more expressive. Let's make this one an expressive one. So add some colors here, a little bit of roundness there. And let's do a little bit of a circle right there. Expressive circle, right? Just expressing our wrist's need to make a shape. There we go. Some expression. I'm saying this in a funny way because I think it's funny when people talk about being expressive. I don't know if I should find it funny, but I do. Like, isn't all art just some form of expression, right? Now, I kind of get what they mean. It's like, oh, look at the movement and the strokes, and look at how they did this part of the body. Like, I get it, but at the same time, I also find it funny sometimes. So anyway, let's go ahead. We're gonna go with a black. There's gonna be some black in here, like a little bit of. Let's give it a little bit of a thing inside, right? There's a whatever you call that thing in the center. I don't know what it's called, but we're just gonna go with it. So a bit of pink vase, and then I'd had Van Gogh Supreme. Yeah, that's a possibility. That is definitely a possibility. We could very well go with a vase. That's a good idea. But keep coming up with more ideas. I might do one of them. I don't know if I'm gonna do a vase yet. Something needs to be like a bit more. I don't know. It just feels like a vase. Feels so like typical, And all right, so that's for that flower. I'm not really able to get the exact look of a flower as these because of the colors, but here we go. Let's be more expressive with this one. Give it a gold stem, and with this gold stem, we're gonna go with a nice expressive red flower. And this is the Sennelier gold. And as you can see, it's a little bit too soft right here. This color. Because it's not coming off totally and fully, but I do like the effect here. So here we go, going around, and even with just these 12 metallic colors, you can actually create quite a variety of effects, especially if you're trying to create if I was trying to create like a design like a gold laden shirt, this would be a perfect color combination. So maybe this is like a dying flower. You know how like certain flowers after they die, they have this like brownish look? Well, that's what this is. And let's see, what about pink vase? You have a great idea what about the white paper being the face, and you color in the rest all black, so the painting in the vase will not be painted, but also painted at the same time. Hey, that sounds like a pretty creative idea as well. So as I mentioned, let's do a color for this. What color? So we got the red, yellow. Let's do the brightest yellow we have here. What would be the best yellow? Want to do the trifecta of, is that good? Or this one? Yeah, that's it. This one right here. We're just going to go in. I think it stands out enough that, yep, there we go. That's the right one. I'm looking at it. I don't really like it. I'm too precious with this color, with these colors to want to fill this whole space with it. It just doesn't look that great. It's not meant, this is not a color that was meant to fill a massive amount of space. It was meant to just create these beautiful and subtle details. So we're just going to go around. As you can see, some of the colors had already scraped off from the last one. So we're going to go around. Let's try a different yellow. Let's try our Van Gogh yellow. And we're going to go around here. Still same effect. You know what? Let's go ahead and take another color here. We're going to go with this is called the Paul Rubens yellow. And we're just going to go into here. And this is too light of a yellow. Let's go with another one. Here we go. I want to take off some of the chunks here. Look at that. That's the one thing about them, is that you really have to be careful with different colors scraping off on each other. So let's go ahead and continue to carve this out. So definitely with oil pastels, you have to be conscious of what the hardness and the softness of the different pastels that you're using. You really have to be conscious of that, because it's going to affect the overall look of your colors, and it could get messy. It could definitely get messy if you allow it to, even if you don't allow it to. So here we go, a bright fiery red to surround our yellow and blue. Knock off some of these little chunks. So cinema glasses. If you only color in red and blue and you close one eye, you can see one picture. Yeah, like you're talking about 3D glasses, right? Or something like that. Yeah, I've seen some cool stuff, some cool YouTube videos that talk about color. Like, you know, if you turn a room totally dark and you change the light color, you can get a totally different effect. All right, so let's finally go into our final project here. And I'm going to sit down for this because I'm craning my neck to do this. And it's not helping. I feel like a sushi chef. Yeah, so I'm actually going to turn my sitting down for this so I could be better eye level. I've been standing over the camera so I could see the chat, but it's totally unnecessary, right? It's not necessary. You can't tell whether I'm sitting or standing. So here we go. Let's do a white flower. We'll take your idea about coloring around an area, and we're just going to color around an area to create a white flower. So let's do that. Let's see, what's a good color? Got the green, red, yellow, blue. So let's do, let's go with pink for this last one. How about that? Let's make our viewers nice and happy. So actually, that's too dark of a pink. I don't want to keep them next to each other. Let's go to the other side, and we're going to do a different pink. So let's see here. This is purple. I got purple in my hand. And how are we going to do this? I got a coral. Coral is a pink, right? Yeah, I would say coral's a pink. So let's do this. We're gonna do a flower that kind of goes out to the side here. So let's go like so. And flower's gonna go like that. This is an interesting design that we're gonna do. I'm not. Let's see how this goes. So I think as long as we do this design properly, it should turn out pretty good. So let's go like this. Let's see how it goes. So we're gonna do the outside of it. So since this could be a white flower, we're gonna paint the round and just give the illusion of a flower. So here we go. Oh no, I colored inside. Oh well, that's okay. And we do need a stem. So what I need is a green stem to give it this idea that it is a flower. Use the negative space. So we're gonna use this stem right here. It's gonna come out, and they're all gonna go into the same area. But one thing that you'll notice about the Paul Rubens is that it definitely knows how to carve its own, create its own space by just being nice and thick. Creates a nice thick texture. It's a beautiful thing to be able to create these designs. And here we go. So let's see what happens. We're gonna create this surrounding area. We're gonna give the idea of a flower by coloring around rather than in. Create this negative space area. Is that working? You know what we gotta do? We gotta add some more dimension to it. So I do need to add some black in the middle to give this sense of a flower interior. But here's how we'll do it. We're gonna go like this. This brown is just gonna come out like so. Let's create, we do need to add some more dimension. So rather than white, rather than total white, what I'd like to do is add just a little bit of light blue just to give it this light, because everything else has multiple colors on it. Don't I think that you know, it could be a legendary painting, but per 3 requests, it's a $20 super chat charge. So if you want to continue making requests, it is open. And here we go. So we're gonna come here, we're gonna come down, and we're gonna go around and just carve into this. And I probably should have added one more leaf in the background, but we're gonna leave it like so here. And let's just add a couple more light colors of blue to paint and draw into this. So here we go. And we're gonna go like this and round it out, and like this part and round that out. And there we go. So the only thing is I do want to get in there. So let's see if I can carve this out with some white. Is it possible to carve this out with white? And here we go. Let's see. So one great thing about some of these pastels is they have these sticker areas of marked off where you could take it off, break it apart piece by piece. And there we go. So let's go one more leaf right here. I want to, oh, if it's going to come behind, I probably don't need it, but maybe just give the idea. Mark a little bit of an area right here. That doesn't look good, does it? Here we go. I think it needs a little bit of the white to just give it the texture of a flower. And let's throw in some more design into this section right here. Nope, that's not coming out very much. So let's throw in some yellow. Yellow on red. Let's see how that turns out. Yellow on red. And we do some more with this white. Let's see. All right, so far, maybe not exactly what was gone for, but get the idea. And let's go right here. How's that look? All right, and we've got it. So, you know, this is a comparison, just doing this little flower oil pastel work, and you can tell some of the big differences. So, you know, we started off with our fine oil pastel, and you could see I think I did a lot more playing around with colors internally on the flower. So you're able to create great effects. Like, you know, it's not ultimately down to, hey, how much is this oil pastel, and, you know, is it the most expensive or least expensive or the best money can buy? Because what happens is that if you need to put colors on top of it, you're going to want to know the different oil pastels. So, like, again, if I use one of these fine quality pastels, if I use the fine quality pastels, you know, they're really rich in color as well. But if you try to layer if you try to layer the wrong thing on top of it, right, the soft one's going to go right on top. But if I try to take a softer, creamier oil pastel, say like this red right here, and then I try to layer one of the other brands of oil pastels, the fine quality brands, then you're going to quickly see that it kind of just scrapes it away. So you got to know how each one really goes together, and you'll find some great things. So, Happy Cat. All right. Okay, cool. Thanks, Alexander. Well, thanks for being here. And yeah, we're almost done here. So take care. Have a great, wonderful day. And with that, take a sip of my drink before we keep going. So with that, just know your materials, I think, is the ultimate idea here. Not necessarily that the idea of one pastel is better than the other. Although I will say a lot of the pastels will go together. So, you know, you have pastels, the softer pastels, the artist quality pastels, and they will go together. You know, you kind of mix them in and you can start to blend them, and you could create a whole variety of designs as you start. So they'll go on top of each other, but maybe not so much the other way around. What's up, Amir Khan? Hello and welcome. Some interesting timing you have, my friend. And I guess as someone is saying earlier, you know what I definitely notice now is the pigment, not necessarily pigment as in what material is inside, but you can see right here, this is hard. This is a harder one, a fine quality one. And you can see when you compare it to a thinner brand, or if you compare it to an artist quality brand, you can see that the thickness of the layers that you create are totally different. So Amir, I guess so. Yeah, squishy human. I guess all humans are pretty squishy, aren't they? Unless you're a bodybuilder. I think if you're a bodybuilder, you're probably not too squishy unless it's off season and you're like bulking. But that's what we got for these flower tests. Now let's like, I'm gonna continue on. What should I continue on and do? Let's see. Where's my mouse? Where is my mouse? Here we go. Let's do some random faces. I'm gonna pull up a random Facebook friend and we're gonna throw their face onto this. But it has to be like nondescript. Ah, I got an idea. Here we go. Let's start with this. We're gonna go into a face and let's go right here. The face is pretty much gonna come right into here, and we're gonna do different colors. We're not just gonna use typical colors. That's boring, right? When you have all these colors at your disposal, why would anybody just want to use the same old color? It just does not make sense. I mean, I guess it makes sense, but there's so many colors, so many choices. The world has given lemons, and if you choose not to use them, yeah, exactly. So here we go. Let's go with some softer colors for the head. Or actually, you know what? I want to match this color and try to find like a very light blue. I'm going to find my lightest blue, and we're going to go for an alien blue. We're going to get an alien blue here. And let's say this is about halfway where the eyes are. And then this is just going to come around like so. So finally, I actually get to like show how I'm changing up. I'm slowly changing up my camera style here, my camera framing. And I want to make my camera frame a little different now to where I can actually show what I'm doing. Sometimes that's not so good though, you know, like sometimes it's not good to show everything you're doing because there's something called an ugly phase for artists. And that's when, you know, you've got this piece that just doesn't look that great right now. And you have to navigate. So let's go like this. The eyebrows will be right around here. And another set of eyebrows right here. And let's see, let's find some green eyes. And go with some green eyes here. And Amir, how you doing? What's going on? You got did you end up making up a story? How'd your class go? yada yada, etc., etc. What's going on? So let's go with the cheeks. We're gonna add some redness into the cheeks here. Into the cheeks. I love the way things kind of just like start out and they're just sort of silly when I do drawings like this. And let's go with this color for the nose. Come straight down. Just a little bit past the cheek here. And then spread out on each side. What's a good color with blue? Red, orange, yellow, green, blue. So orange is a good color to mix with blue. So let's go with orange for our shadows here. I'm curious how this is going to turn out. Usually, like, with painting, you can like work and rework everything. But with this, with what I'm working on right now, it's not as easy. So let's go right like this. Let's put some blush in the face, draw in the blushy areas. And here we go. We'll continue with this light blue. And let's go into the eyes a bit. So we're going to create the area around the eyes. And for the red, we're going to go, let's see, it's very close to the nose. So we're going to have to change up some of this design a bit, but let's go with blue teeth. We're going to go with blue teeth here. Nobody will get it. All right, and then let's go in here. Kind of unique. Finally, you're done with your studies, so you came to watch. Strange cat people. Yeah, cat people are great. Yeah, no, I mean, it's great to have. I think artists are usually pretty weird, or unique. But as an artist, I think it's like one thing to have people hang out and another people to like another when they keep pushing you to do stuff, you know what I mean? It's like you got to set boundaries as a professional. You got to set boundaries. And here we go. So we're going to go around the face here. And it's going to come straight down with the chin right under the lips. So this is going to curve straight down. Yes. Let's take a purple. Let's take this purple hair, and we're gonna go. I'm gonna go around here. Let's go bring this purple. Yeah, as a streamer, you know, I find it interesting. It's definitely a complicated situation when you gotta figure out, like, you know, how much you're willing to just do just for a viewer versus, you know, people who are supporting your channel, right? Like, which I guess a viewer is usually supporting your channel, but like, you know, Amir, you're here all the time. And, you know, it's hard to be like, hey, yeah, I'll do all this stuff. I'll draw this, I'll draw that for you. Whereas somebody like you who's here all the time, uh, you know, I'm thankful for that. And what have I done for you? You know what I mean? So you really got to be considerate when you're streaming as a streamer, not just like, hey, let me please everybody that visits just because they're here versus, yes, you know, be nice to everybody, but I can't just take every request. You know what I mean? So let's keep going into this. We're going to go right here, draw our blue character here. And we're going to go so many purples and blues. Yes. All right. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate that. So anyway, we're going to carve this right into the neck here. So let's go ahead and push this hair down a bit. And we're going to go around the cheeks. And you know what we can do is we can take some shadow to carve out some of the shapes here. So, so let's carve out the neck. Yeah, but thank you, sir. All right, we're gonna create some shadow underneath. And let's get some glasses. I'm gonna do some green glasses here. All right, so let's see what we can do to tighten this piece up a bit. We can blend in this area, blend in this area. We need to add something for the nose, so we're gonna darken. Let's make something on the nose. It's gonna be purple to create this sense of depth for the nose. Blue monster. I'm not even gonna tell you who it is because it doesn't look anything like them. But what I do need to do now is sharpen this face a little bit, sharpen up some of these facial features. Anyway. Here, we're going to soften some of the red cheeks here. And let's whiten the forehead a bit. And then add some dark eyelashes. And all right, eventually I will figure out how to use blues, colors like blue to create characters that look more real. Close enough. I think it passes. And since they got blue on that, let's go, instead of a blue, let's go like a light purple, lighter purple color around the clothes here. All right. So what now? Let's go find another subject. I'm gonna continue working with these, this idea of, let's see, who pops up on my feed now. All right, so let's do this one. We're going to do this with some more natural colors. And let's try some of our other oil pastels. Let's mix in some of our other oil pastels here. Trying to get off some of the stuff that I scraped off. I think this is great for creating an outline. So let's go like right here. And we're going to go and then go right about down there, and then come up. And for this one, we'll use some more natural colors. How about that? So let's go shape out some of the eyes. We'll darken an area for the eyes. And let's see, go right here. Actually, let's do this. So shape the lighter areas. So we got some nice natural head area. That's going to come down right about there. I'm going to come down for the nose. I'm going to come down for the nose. Go straight down to the chin here. And come around for the eyes. So the eyes are just going to be a tad bit darker. So let's just use something a tad bit darker. Get off some of the gunk and fill this space. And let's go like this to fill in this other section of the head. And then this eye is also going to come around like so. Let's just get a subtle pink blush here. Get some of this color off. Let's do this. Oh no, it broke. That's okay. We're going to just leave it right here, and we're going to keep working with this color. That's the one thing about the soft oil pastels, is you can't really get too rough with them, because otherwise this type of stuff happens. That's all right. Here we go. The cat person would really like this right now. The use of pink. So we're going to throw in some cheek color right here. Top of the nose. And some more cheek color. Right around. And let's give it like a nice little golden glow here. So we're going to give it a golden glow right around here. Let's do the eyes, like a nice copper eye. So these are nice copper eyes just below the, just below. And I give it some dark texture right around, like a copper eyes. And let's give it some nice dark texture right around there. I'm gonna go like so. Let's go. Let's go like this. Oh. Attention to detail, people. All right, so we'll keep the eye pretty much like that. And let's just keep working this. I'm going to keep working this figure here, this person. And where I think it's really going to come together is once we get the head, the main colors of the face right here, we're going to be able to work. Let's start to form the face now. I'm going to take the hair. I'm going to go around with the hair, and let's just start with a nice dark brown from our fine quality line, so we can just start to carve our figure here. So we're going to go like so. The nose is going to go straight up, and the hairline comes around right here. And this is just barely going to cut off the eye right here. And let's see, comb down. Some dark hair, and then this is going to come around this side. I'm going to come down like so. And around the head. So this is going to come down. And we're just going to bring this down. Now let's put the lip. Make some lips here. Really close to the nose. Let's use a bit of blue under the eyes here. Can't help but you want to use some blue, you know? It's just like one of those things where you just want to use the colors that you got. Just want to use some of them. So let's go with some green. I'm going to throw some green on this. Let's see what happens. And a nice subtle yellow here. Let's bring this yellow back. This white. I gotta capture this nose. I gotta figure out how to best capture a nose. I think once you form the nose, let's go like this. The chin needs to be a little bit smaller. So we're going to carve the chin out. I'm going to use the hair to carve out the face a bit better. So we're going to carve this hair. I'm going to carve this hair to carve out the face. And here we go. We'll add some white highlights to this. Or actually some green. We'll use some light green. Let's do this. go. Color underneath. Super subtle blue. Just do blue right here. I'm going to bring this white around the edge right here. And another blue around the edge right here. With the white. Now let's play a bit more. So let's do like this here. A little bit of blue right here. Add some orange. And some yellow into this hair. Let's throw some blue into the hair, because why not? We're going to throw blue. And I have to do something to make this piece a little bit more make a little bit more sense. So I got to figure out how to do that. And maybe what I do is add a little bit of white around the lips. And I bring out the lips a bit. Let's add some rose gold blush along the face here. I think there's just too much yellow. It's like so overpowering. So I want to add a little bit of this blue right here just to get into some other areas. And this needs to lighten up in the back here. Hmm. Here we go. Let's bring some of this white in. Okay. Maybe we blend this section a little better. And here we go. Let's see. How's that? Two bizarre looking oil pastel people. So my neighbor's starting to smoke now, so I can definitely smell it. But here we go. Let's see, I think it needs just a little bit more shadow. I wonder if there's anything. Let's go a bit more shadow right underneath the eye here. Hmm. You know what I need? Let's do this. A little bit of orange just to craft this cheek a bit more. And I think we're almost done. Almost wrapped on this piece. Craft. Push these pieces. Whiten this. Just a little bit of white to unify more of the areas. Let's carve out a little bit of a difference under the chin here. So we're going to take red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. We're going to take our purple and just carve out our space beneath the neck. So we're going to go right here, carve out this, create the shadow. How can we tighten up this lip? This lip looks a little bit funky. I feel like if I just tighten up the lip, we could get something really nice here. But what do I have to do to fix this lip area? Let's go around and let's go. All right, we got something a little better. Two sides of life, yeah. There we go. A little bit of semi-realism there. And let's see. Let's put some of our oil pastels together here. Get organized before we move on to anything else. Oh my goodness. That's one thing about having tons of oil pastels is like staying organized can be a challenge. Here we go. It's just as simple as just putting them in a right box, but for whatever reason, making it more difficult. You got to find the pieces, the ones that don't belong, and take them out. So, we're slowly built these pieces up. And I got to fill in this space. So what goes good between red and blue? So you got red, blue, red, orange, yellow, green, blue. Red, the opposite of red is green, green, blue. Oh yeah, I might as well just dip into the yellow here, huh? Don't need to think too much about it. I constantly like to think like, oh, what color will go good between these two spaces? Let's fill in some of the yellow into this space. Whew. All right. Well, I could probably keep pushing that, but I think I got the general idea of this person. So it's been an hour and 44 minutes. I'm trying to think what else I can add onto here. This little collage that we've got going on. Let's see what else. Let's do a cat. Now that the cat person is gone, we're gonna do the cat. So how does a cat look exactly? I'm gonna try to do a cat from imagination that doesn't necessarily look exactly like a cat, but let's try this. I'm gonna do cat from the side. Cat with a little button nose. And, you know, they... little nose in the mouth, little red nose in the mouth. And let's do... These are really sticky when they come out, so... Let's see, where should the ear be? Ear should be right around there. I'm gonna do the inside of a pink ear, right around here. Let's use a blue-eyed cat. Do it. Blue-eyed cat, so... Blue-eyed cat. We're gonna give it silver fur, some blue silver fur, some red silver fur. Let's go red silver. I have no idea how to draw a cat without a reference. Looks more like a rabbit with huge ears. That's okay. So let's go like this. Whiskers. It's more like a rabbit. There you go. Correction, I'm drawing a rabbit, not a cat. Let's see, we can probably color around the front of the face and then just do this. Maybe rather than a side view cat. add a couple of details. Just continuing building up some details. And the blue eyes probably don't work because everything here is blue. So we'll go with something dark. Just nice dark black eyes. Actually, let's go green. We'll try for something green. With black whiskers. Oh, I was talking about cats and our cat came over. What do you want, Simba? Ah, he's like, hey, you should draw me, dude. Yeah, I guess we could draw him. So let's go. Hey, Simba, look at me. Look at me, pal. Yeah, I'm talking to you. All right. Let's see, get these little eyes. He walked away already. But, you know, little cat eye right here. So he's already walked away, but let's see what we can do with this. I have an orange cat. Simba. Hey, look at me. Simba. No, he doesn't want to look. He's too curious about what's going on outside. So let's get... Hey, Simba. Okay, he's got the fur. He's got white fur on one side. And then he's got the mouth right here. And he's got orange fur around him. But it's, you know, or they say orange cats are never really orange. They're usually like a brown or tan color. So let's give him rose gold. He's going to be a rose gold cat. Cats are moving along here. Here we go. I can't draw a cat without looking at one, but put one in front of me and I could draw it. Simba, you want to eat or what? You gotta look at me if you want to eat. You gotta work for your food, dude. The cat must work for its food. So let's keep this going here. You must work for your food, my friend. All right, let's go into this ear. It's got Fern. Yeah, okay, you got a little heart-shaped nose. That's cute. Yeah. Always forget about the heart-shaped nose, right? Little nose right here. What's up? Simba. Hey. Simba. All right. Fine. You don't want a model for me. I get it. You should at least look at me for 2 seconds. So we're going to go with the rose gold. And, you know, we'll go with rose gold. I won't go with pink. Fern. Huh? What do you think? Fern. I think I should go with the... Yeah? You like that idea? Rose gold? There we go. I do need pink ears, like pink on the inside. So I want, now that this has been broken, I want to use it all up. So let's go ahead and paint the inside of the ears nice and pink. Oh, I haven't checked my phone in a while. I feel like I might have gotten an important text and not even known it. Let's see, what important questions have been asked of me today? Many an important question. So there's the pink ears on the inside. Got cute little fluffy hairs coming up on the ears. Cute little fluffy hairs. And half his face is white, so we gotta add in some white here. Hey, Fern. Oh, and you got a little chin. Little white chin right here. And here we go. We'll add some pink. You know, I think pink just doesn't work for this cat unless you you draw like a Felix the Cat type of thing. Just doesn't work because it's like naked, like. Anyway, continue. Let's figure this guy out, huh? Let's figure this cat out. So here we go. Oh, I don't want to use that color because it's too much the same. So we're going to use some of this orange color to give him his orange cat features here. Of course, you want to use like little strokes. Fern, yeah, you'll look at me, right? You'll look at me. You will look at me. So I'm using our other cat for inspiration. And, okay, so now, hey, Simba. So let's see how he looks on the bottom. So he's going to come here, and the rest of his body just kind of blend in here. So maybe I'll use like a blue to kind of put this all together, because the white on white just doesn't look that great. So he's got like a nice, cute blue coat here. Hey, Simba, look at me before you go. Dude. Yes. Look at me before you go. All right. I think that's enough. It almost looks like a fox or some type of cat or something, right? Yes, come here. Come here, little buddy. Here we have a cat. Ah, it's nice mane. It's nice bodily mane coming down. Here we go. And yes. What else? Got some orange hair around there and some orange hair around here and some orange on the paw. And there's our ginger cat. All right. So with that, we have finished our project for now, and this is a review of many of the different pastels that you can work with. We got some Vincent van Gogh brand. This is by Royal Talens, and this is a fine quality brand. And we've got fine quality. I don't like to say student grade or professional art grade, but I do say fine quality or extra fine quality or professional quality. So that was Cray-Pas. Next up, we got, one of our pieces is broken off and I don't know where it went. What happened to it? What is going on? Must have put it somewhere. I'm missing half a stick of oil pastel, and it must have disappeared off the planet because I can't find it right now. Ah, here we go. So here we go. This piece goes right there. This piece goes in here. Still organizing pieces. And this piece goes right here. Got to organize after every session. So here we go. Let's put this all back together. You can find some of the interesting designs as we do this. So here we go, putting back our Sennelier, the wonderfully made in France pastels, and finally our Paul Rubens Chinese colored pastels, which are really good, very well made, and these do the job very well. At some point, I'm probably going to settle on either Sennelier and Paul Rubens, and probably maybe just have like one other brand just for things. But hey, Amir, thanks for being here. I'm actually wrapped for the day, and we'll chat later. But need to take a break right now, and have a good day, my friend, and everybody else have a good day.